7 o'clock.
And justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen.
Allah is love.
Universal love.
And love is universal.
So Islam Wars.
Who reigns supreme above us all, yeah. Because he is the Father who made all things through creation and fall. From my heart to his heart, my faith takes me up the steps of salvation, exalted with power, his spirit, I'm true pride of his creation.
Allah is love.
Universal love.
Love is universal.
And trying to find
Allah is love.
what their role is in this great drama for the sons of men. We're here to learn to love instead of hate.
I'm calling on the Almighty, on the Almighty. I'm calling on the Almighty, on the Almighty, mighty, mighty. Universal love.
And love is universal.
Universal love.
Allah is love.
Universal love.
And love is universal.
Universal love. Universal love. Universal love.
At Soul Music Records.
Universal love.
Rebirth in the house of good music.
Islam.
Islam.
I rise in thought, giving praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. And I give honors to his holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to my beautiful wife, Sister D. Adams Bay, and our 3 beautiful daughters, Sister C, Sister U, and Sister S. Adams Bay. I give honors to these 2 beautiful brothers, Brother J. Florence Hill and Brother Y. Cyrus Hill. I give honors to all our viewers, listeners, and everyone who's tuning into Universal Love for some uplifting information. And I give honors to the social media team and everything that honors is that is due. And with that, I'll be handing over to my beautiful wife so she could share a little information as well. Peace.
Islam. First, I give praise to Allah and honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to our guest speakers, Brother J. Florence Hill and Brother Y. Cyrus Hill. I give honor to the social media team, all those who were here joining us this evening, and I give honors to my family, Brother T. Adams Bay, Sister C, Sister U, and Sister S. Adams Bay. And tonight, the topic is, in a still small voice, he speaks. And now I hand it over to our guest speakers, and they can introduce themselves and share a little bit of information about themselves. Peace.
Peace.
Is AGG, if you can do the honors.
Islam. Praise Allah. I'm Brother J. Florence Hill from Trenton, New Jersey. Grand Sheik at Temple number 48, Assistant Grand Sheik of New Jersey. First and foremost, I would like to give praises to the great God of the universe, Allah, giving honors to our illustrious and noble Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Just reflecting, where would I be today if it wasn't for our Prophet? And giving honors also, I would like to give special honors to my mother and my father, because again, if they would have not prepared me and They're no longer present on the physical plane, but I know that they have prepared me so that I will be able to receive these teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Because we know and understand, a sheep knows the sound of my voice, a stranger does not follow. I could have been anywhere, and I'm here now today in the Moore Signs of America, which I'm truly grateful and honored to be. And also at this moment, it's an honor to be on Universal Love, which is truly a blessing. It could have been someone else, but brother and sister chose me, or the Spirit chose me to be here today to share my journey, hoping that someone can learn something. So with that being said, praise the Lord. I give honors to our present grand, our past grand sheiks and sheikesses. Give honors to our present grand sheik, Brother R. Jones Bey, and his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. Giving honors to all national officials, all local officials. Giving honors to all who deserve honors, and honors to those who have given honors to on site of the meeting. Praise the Lord. Peace, Moors.
Peace.
Peace, peace. Islam, Moors.
Islam.
Islam. First, I rise and I give praise to the great God Allah, the Father of the five principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I also give praise to the great God for, as well as AGG just gave honors for sending us the divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Praise Allah, Moors. Where will we be without the prophet's guidance? You know, the divine instructions of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to all of the leaders. I give honors to all of the divine prophets. I give honors to our forerunner, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I give honors to the leaders of the Moore Science Temple of America, past and present. Giving honor to the present Grand Sheik and moderator, Brother R. Jones Bey. Give honors to all national, state, and local officials, the charter, the flags, all of the prophets, literature. I give a special honor. I give honors to the media team for this platform, and I give honors to Brother T. Adams Bey and Sister D. Adams Bey, my dear sister and brother, for this powerful show and for keeping it going. The legacy of Universal Love, giving honors to the platform, Universal Love. Give honors to the Grand Sheik of Trenton Temple number 48, Brother J. Florence Ill, my brother, also the Assistant Grand Governor of New Jersey. I give honors to Temple number 34, our past leader, former Grand Sheik, Brother W. Clinton Bey, and our Grand Sheik Emeritus, Sister E. German Bey. I'd like to give a special honor to Temple 34, who's celebrating 88 years. Our charter is this Sunday. Praise Allah. We'll be streaming live, inshallah, on our Facebook page. And another final two special honors. I give special honors to Sister P. Rebels Bey, the Sheikess and elder from Temple number 21, who made her transition last week. A dear member of the Moore Science Temple of America and an entry-level elder who touched many lives. I give special honors to the Grand Sheik, former Grand Sheik of Temple number 21, Brother N. Rebels Bey, her husband, and the Sister A. Ravenu Bey from Real Talk, Growth Talk, Moorish Talk, her daughter. Our sister is traveling on. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Peace.
Peace.
I'm now going to take a reading from the Holy Quran of the Moore Science Temple of America, page 13, chapter 8. Jesus reveals to the people of their sinful ways. And I am going to read Divine Instructions numbers 1 through 7. In all the cities of Arissa, Jesus taught. At Katak by the riverside, he taught, and thousands of people followed him. One day, a car of Jagannath was hauled along by scores of frenzied men, and Jesus said, "Behold, a form without a spirit passes by, a body with no soul, a temple with no altar fires. This car of Krishna is an empty thing, for Krishna is not there. This car is but an idol of a people drunk on wine of carnal things. Allah lives not in the noise of tongues. There is no way to him from any idol shrine. Allah's meeting place with man is in the heart, and in a still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still." Why do you think Allah speaks to man in a still small voice opposed to a loud voice?
Praise Allah. That's a great question. I'll jump out. You know, the more that know me, they know that my format that I use is to try as much as possible to connect the dots in the instructions of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So I would be at a loss. I think we would be at a loss if we didn't point out one of the central spokes in this particular discussion, about the still small voice. And after a little bit of analysis, I would say that it stems around the fact that when the will of Allah and the will of man are one, the resurrection is a fact. Talks to us about the will of Allah in the Quran, chapter 7 says, when Jesus was asked what is power, he said, it's a naught, it's the result of force, and force is the will of Allah as it manifests, to paraphrase. So, the will of Allah is central. I think we'll find that it's central throughout this discussion. So to the question, why does the law speak in a still small voice? Because in this process, man is supposed to be seeking the great God Allah. We're supposed to be seekers after truth naturally. In the degrees of the gospel, as you read from the Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran of Mecca, it goes from talking about, the willingness to believe, to believers, to seekers that are on the path. Our Quran takes it to the next level in that last verse of chapter 35, where it says, O fear Allah, and walk in the paths which he hath opened before thee. It talks about prudence and modesty, temperance, restraint, justice, guide thy hand, benevolence, warm thy heart, and gratitude to heaven, inspire thee to devotion. And so seeking is the reason why, if you're going to seek, the law is going to only speak to you in the most simple way. Brother Clinton Bay used to always say, if you walk to Allah, he'll run to you. If you run to Allah, he flies to you. But you have to be seeking the great God. And I would end, I think I would stop there, is that, in terms of that, Allah speaking in a still small voice. There's a part I want to go into about these 5 voices I picked up in the book, and I'll save that for the next conversation. There are 5 voices, and you study yourself, and your soul is communicating. 5 different voices speak out, and in 5 different parts of you. And I'm going to pick that up on the other, if I get another chance. Allah speaks in one of those voices. It's intuition, but your body is speaking, your emotions are speaking, your passions speak to you. There's other voices that are in your head at the same time, and you have to be able to sort through those. So Allah is not going to yell over your passions or with your body. If your body, you allowed it to have a giant voice, he's going to wait until you're ready and you're seeking him. So I think that's the premise for me, Sister Adams Bey. Peace.
Islam.
Peace. Islam.
Praise Allah. Thank you, Brother Cyrus Hill. A lot of thoughts went through my head when you were just sharing, Mo. And I go to chapter 1. The question was, first and foremost, was why must man be still in order to hear Allah speaks? We know and understand everything had its purpose and its cause. And I reflect to chapter 1, where it states first and foremost, it says, time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, a time will come when it will end. The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things that are infinite. Now, thinking about the finite is more or less the carnal, the physical, became a foe. And again, we know and understand that because it became a foe because it was carnal. It was a physical, and the physical was a dense concept, or the physical. It was a coarse, dense concept. So again, prior to that, Allah was speaking, and we know He was speaking through the thought, first and foremost. So how do you hear when Allah is speaking if you're not still? As right now I'm speaking, and then the words that I'm speaking, it could probably cause some type of vibration or disturbance. Now someone else is speaking, or something else is going on, another vibration or currency. So now, when you settle yourself, you can hear the Allah within each and every situation, because again, you're being in tune, because it says no finite mind can comprehend things that are infinite. I look at the physical as having a human experience. Working out is life sums so that it can become in tune with Allah. So it says, why must man be still? So we have to still ourselves in word, thoughts, and deeds, actions, reflecting, just sit still and purify ourselves so that we can initially hear the words or the text, or as Brother Y. Cyrus was just stating, the concept of movement.
Islam. If I could pick that up, you did. If I could pick that up, brother. You know what?
Praise the Lord. Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
Let me exercise restraint because I know Brother Adams Bay.
Y. Cyrus Hill. Islam. Go ahead, brother Y. Cyrus Hill.
So in one of the chapters, I think it's in Constancy, it says nature. I think it starts off with nature urgency, the inconstancy, oh man. So guard thyself at all times against it or her. I think it's it. And it's either inconstancy or instability, right? And this goes into those voices, right? We have several different in our text. In the questionnaire, we have a breakdown of the lower self. Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve: Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. And we learn about the gears of the lower self, right? You got gears that you can slip in. You could be going on your, doing your thing in your higher self, and literally slip into your lower self until you develop a certain level of strength, right? We're developing this strength of mind, right? Of focus, which is part of this discussion. You can slip just because you're in your higher self. Somebody comes and violates you, and the universe is really testing you. You think somebody's violating you, then you burst into a burst of anger, which is what you know. That's, I was always explaining the beast. You could be in your higher self, and then all of a sudden somebody's having jokes, and you joined in on the jokes. Jokes are fun. We live in a generation our generation is addicted to comedy. And to me, that's funny. I watch comedy now. I'm a big fan of. I have my favorites. I'm not gonna name them and go that far into the weeds. It's not too funny out here these days. There's nothing funny about what's going on out here. But we're addicted to laughter and joking. And without going into that, so you could be walking along, you're in your higher self, and somebody getting the jokes in, or you see something funny, and you start to joke, and that then got you. The dragon got you by your tongue, and you slipped into your low. Also rumors, and somebody's having interesting conversation about somebody else's business, and it got you. Then you get into those higher gears. I won't go into them. That's not the point. Your body is one. Nature urges thee to inconstancy, oh man. When those 5 voices include, and I learned this in a book called Given to Me by Brother C. Ferguson. I'll give honors to our chairman here at Temple Number 34, one of the elders known around the movement. Praise Allah for elders because they share more. You ain't in no temple, you don't got no elders, you ain't getting good information, probably. They'll share this book called The Secret Path by Paul Brunton. And I believe the subtitle off the top of my head was A Practical Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. And in this book, this man was building about the, what was he calling it? The over self. The law that you'll find when you study yourself and you go within, you'll find someone is lurking there and watching through your eyes and paying attention to what you're doing, and you have to discover him. But in the process, in this book, it talks about 5 voices that you got to battle through. One of them is your body. The other one is your emotions. The other one is your ego. You got to find the voice of your ego and listen to what your ego is telling you at certain times. If you're truly doing what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, if you will study something, study yourself. The other voice is your human knowledge. Clearest human knowledge is what, Moors? Minus folly. What you think, what you know, what you're trying to do. And that final voice you learn to listen for, and the book teaches, and I found it always very profound. Listen for the voice of intuition throughout your day. And I believe that overlaps to what the Prophet is telling us about this still small voice that Allah speaks within. Is an intuition voice. But your body, the one I would accentuate a little bit, is look at how your body controls you throughout the day. It tells you that you have to go to the men's room or the ladies' room. It tells you it's time to go to bed. I mean, go to bed right now. It tells you it's time to go to the kitchen table right now. Hurry up. And all kind of other things. You know, the mind triggers chemicals, and chemicals, make a demand on in turn on the mind, depending on how you have them lined up. And so that voice of the body is telling you all kind of chemical urges, in relation with other men and women. Those urges can become very strong, and unless you realize when your body is telling you something versus the great God Allah is telling you something, you might miss the voice of the great God. Peace.
Yeah, peace, Islam. I was thinking like when you think from a carnal point of view, or the finite point of view, like if you just think about if you somewhere where it's loud, like why would Allah speak to you through a loud voice? When you somewhere when it's loud, you can't hear anything. So why would Allah speak to you in a loud voice? You know what I'm saying? And you tend to find somewhere quiet to where you can hear. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at Allah speaking to me in a small, still voice, it makes sense, because wherever there's loudness, majority of the time you're not hearing anything anyway.
Right.
Just a bunch of noise. And we know Allah live not in the noise of tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just noise. But when you go somewhere where you could be quiet, or even I think you could still yourself in an instant as well. But when you can still yourself, that's when you'll hear that small, still voice.
Mm-hmm.
Islam. Because I think about how I work around a lot of noise, and I'm constantly, what did you say? What are you doing? But when you get to where you can clearly hear, now you can receive the message.
Mm-hmm.
We're
talking at Temple 34 about the power of sound in studying chapter 1 in vibration. And when you read the 7 Hermetic Principles, Sister Adams Bay, I'm sure has gone over that. You read that chapter on vibration, and it talks about, and in other texts about vibration, sound may be the origin, of the basis, just like the ether is the basis of all things. But I would say that, Brother Adams Bay, and I'm gonna be quiet, that when Allah is speaking to you in a loud voice, He's going upside your head. Because I done came to you. When I came and I spoke a little louder, signs and symbols are for the conscious mind, and you missed that one. Now I came, I gave you a nice loud sign, and I didn't touch you with it, and you still missed it. You might be in the midst of a little disaster, or you see something, you should be able to register. Oh wow, Allah's trying to tell me that. And then if you miss that one, he gonna go upside your head. That you don't want a loud voice from the great God Allah, because it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, that's that spanking from your father.
Mm-hmm.
Praise Allah. And that lines right back up, Mo. As far as I was sharing about chapter 1, it says, creative faith gave to man, to spirit man and soul, that he might function on the plane of soul.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him a body of flesh, that he might function on the things that are made
manifest.
Why did creative faith give to spirit man and soul, that he might function on the plane of soul? Why did creative faith give to soul a body of flesh, that he might function on the things that are made manifest? Hear now, ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angel, and ye men. So just think about him making that statement. Hear now, ye cherubim, ye angel, ye seraphim, ye men. So again, these are different manifestations. But again, these are subtle set of manifestations as well. Again, these are demonstrators as well of the Spirit of Allah made flesh. So again, as that is being done, if Allah was speaking from a subtle space, then why not forward? Get what I'm saying to you again? So now, as I was stating before, as our ethers changed, as we became dense and dealing with all these different forms, only way that we can hear what we was hearing before is stillness, Mo. You know what I mean? Because again, it was stillness. There was no reason for demonstration because thought was always there. And that's all that is. And what we're really doing is getting back into the tune of the thought, becoming one with that thought. So again, now we have the ability, again, we out here. And this is, as we were just stating, this is our testing ground. The things that we do, these distractions, taking us away from the divine teachings or divine instructions. All we have to do in the midst of all of it is be still. It said, my words are spirit and ye moles better heed. My words are spirit and ye moles better. How can we heed the word? We have to, because again, we moving with everything else that's moving around us. We get caught up in those currencies. Now what we have to, we take ourselves out of those currencies and settle ourselves and know that Allah and man is one. So again, we have the ability to hear when we're still. So I'm grateful, as I was just doing right now. I settled myself. I stilled myself. And I was able to hear the teachings of the prophet. Actually, to hear the teachings of Allah through the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. We actually kind of touched on this question, but if you all desire
He set us up lovely. He set us up perfectly for that next question. Come on, sister.
Yes.
Sister
We touched on it already. It says, why must man be still in order to hear Allah speaking to him? Unless, would you have anything else to comment on that?
Absolutely. I was going to say it. I didn't want to interrupt the Grand Sheikh that that's a part of it, right? So if we have to, remember it says in chapter 1 also, it says, perfected man must pass through all the ways of life, and so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah. And I chopped it up. I'm going to read it exactly. It says, perfected man must pass through all the ways of life. Where am I at? And so a carnal was full manifest. I always say that seems to be first. It's like the bully that steps up in your way, and it's like you can't get past him until you face him. He was fully manifest first, a nature that sprang forth from fleshy things. But without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. You could beat him. All you got to do is not be afraid and try to run from him, right? And here's the part, because thought must be developed by the exercise of strength, right? And let me just read that because there's a little bit more exercise must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be what? The strength of Allah made manifest. And just like anything else, and this goes back to those that are from Temple 34, we've been looking closely and flipping upside down and trying to analyze this statement that Jesus made going into the Temple of Heliopolis, which is kind of like a cryptic, powerful, but it deserves some analysis. When Jesus was said, actually the Hierophant said, the highest heights are gained by those who reach the greatest depths, and you shall reach the greatest depths. Why is the question? Why does that have to happen? That don't sound nice. It's because just like this, without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. In order to test any type of material, and a lot of times in certain cases like metal, things become stronger under the test, which ties into other cryptic verses in the Quran. This is chapter, I think 37. The farmer must prepare the soil before the corn be planted, and the potter must make the furnace before he makes his porcelain. Makes his porcelain in the furnace, which is heat and clay. In chapter 38 says cryptically, the same sun hardens the clay and softens the wax. And I tend to believe that what is being said there is that in the fires of life, the furnaces, the tests and the trials of life, you're either gonna, like we say today, pressure breaks pipes and makes diamonds. You're going to either get stronger or you're going to get weaker. And under the test, we should be getting stronger. So my point is this comes back to the question. Why do we have to be still? What is the strength that we are developing with thought? But the control of our minds. Mind control, becoming master minds, where you can direct your attention, right? Use your soul, right? Thinking, understanding, reasoning, willing, right? Will it to attention, to focus over here, not over there or any kind of fleeting thought that comes to mind. And that's in order to develop that skill, you have to develop the ability to still yourself, which is really at the center of that type of control. And it would only make sense that that's where Allah is going to meet you, like at the end of any test. When you do the test on television, when you get to the end, that person is there. Okay, here, you made it. We were waiting for you. Allah sits in stillness because that's where your mental control and strength actually lies at that center.
Islam. Praise Allah,
Praise Allah.
Islam. Praise the Lord, Brother Cyrus, Grand Sheik Temple number 34. Truly divine. My reflection is more praise Allah, by the grace of Allah. I reflect on the questionnaire. What is our religion?
Islamism.
Islam. I can't hear you, Mo. What is our religion?
Islamism.
Praise Allah. And we look and we reflect on Islamism. Islamism is the continuous study of Islam, right? Being in tune with the universe, right? Universal love.
Islam.
Universal love. So again,
that's right.
The question is, why do you think that man's meeting place with Allah is in the heart? Well, we have instructions and teachings, and we have our questionnaire, and they correlate with the Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America. And just reflecting on that, as Islamism, as we continue to we practice that, we study that, right? So the question is, meeting place within the heart. So I know it states in our teaching, pounded into as a part of every part, right? So if we practice it continuously, it becomes a part of every part. But the center of it, the core of our teachings and our practices is the study of Allah through Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So as the question that was previously asked about being still, when you still yourself, I mean, truly still yourself. And when you're in tune, you can actually feel your heart pulsating.
Praise Allah.
And it's more or less rhythmatically in tuning you with the great God that's within you. So I see that is the reason that we must meet him within the heart. And the problem, not just the heart, this physical heart, but the heart of the mind as well. We have to be in tune with our whole dynamics, and taking ourselves away from, because be honest with you, when we slow our rhythms down and take ourselves out of these murky ethers, we can truly hear Allah speak. Truly hear Allah speak. And not being told, man knows by what? Practicing, Mo. Man knows not by being told. Man must be what he knows. So anything I share with you, Mo, don't hold Prophet Noble Drew Ali for it. Hold Brother J. Florence Hill accountable for it. So again, I'm grateful for these teachings so that it can help me, assist me to be a better Moorish American here in the wilderness of North America. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. And I had a comment on being still. What was the question? The one where it says, "Why must man be still in order to Allah speaking to him?" It made me think about for those that meditate, when you sit and you still your mind, and you sit there for long enough, your body, you raised to a higher tone. And even in that stillness, it's easier to hear Allah because you've been sitting there for so long. But it just made me think about when you are sitting and you get raised to a higher tone, Allah is obviously on a higher tone. It made me think that's probably part of why we have to be still, because when we're in the noise, when there's a bunch of noise in our mind, it's hard for us to think straight. I think y'all both commented on that. I think all three of y'all commented on that. And when we're in a place of noise, chaos, you can't think straight. It's hard to make sound decisions. It's just hard to function in general.
That's right.
And I've been experiencing that lately. When because we have a newborn, and our two other children, Creation and Unity, they're so ecstatic to be around their little sister that they're all up in your face, in the baby's face. Can I hold her? Can I this? Can I that? And I'm like, I'm getting overstimulated. I'm trying to calm down because I'm trying to take care, all those things. But, it's really a practice in being still, because a lot of us, when we were out in Asia, I didn't know what being still was. I can't recall a time that I would really do that besides when I would go to sleep. In that, it's a practice in stilling your mind in order to hear Allah. I think I think that was Brother Cyrus Hill who said that you have to seek, you have to be seeking
Mhm.
Allah.
Mhm.
So,
Praise Allah.
because if you're not seeking Allah, because Allah is already there.
Islam.
Allah doesn't have to find you because Allah is already within you.
Praise
Mhm.
Allah.
How did you end up in the Moorish Science Temple of America? This is to all of us in the rhetorical question. Unless you were seeking, it's the
Islam.
only reason you got
Praise
here.
Allah.
You
Islam.
can't get here. Actually, you know, everything is a thought, and then you're going along the course of your thoughts and your intents, and it manifests. I don't think you can get to the Moorish Science Temple of America unless you were seeking, right? Not to cut you,
Islam.
Sheikahs.
Islam.
And I wanted to, before we change gears into the next question, brother Florence will crack the third question. He opened it up. You know, in having this, developing this focus of mind, which is it's a powerful tool. Man's greatest. I read in another book by brother, given to me by brother brother J. Fielder Bay, Temple number 65, gave me this book called The Power of Will. I think I mentioned on here before. The greatest tool that man has is his willpower. The will of Allah and the will of man are one. When you line that tool up with the laws, it makes sense that our will is one of the greatest things. Your will needs focus. In order to will works on focus.
Praise Allah.
That's how it works. If you
Yes,
can't
Lord.
focus, you can't will anything. You know, your will is weak. And practicing meditation allows you to develop the focus that's necessary for will.
Islam.
It goes hand in hand for anyone that is a meditator. And I think it connects really nicely. And I'm gonna pause here because this kind of segues into another one of the questions, so I'll save it, about prayer. You know, when you pray to the great God, the essence of prayer is fixing your attention on that highest vibration, which is the great God Allah. You know, but you got to develop. You can't if anyone had ever. Well, when we get into that, I'm gonna ask a question. How long are you able to focus on Allah throughout the day? You know, and you'll see that it's hard, especially out here. It's hard. Peace.
And the cares of the world, Islam.
Mm-hmm. Cares of the world.
So, yeah, Islam. And so we kind of went into that, Brother Jay Florence led us to that other question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that man's meeting place with Allah is in the heart? You can, if you don't mind, you can expound on that. But also, and we'll just go into the next question. We'll tie the next question into that as well. And how does one actually go to meet Allah within the heart?
That's a lot, Morris. We got to deal with them one at a time. Brother Florence, you failed to sell. You go first.
I thought that was the question the sister had asked, but praise Allah, brother T and sister D Adams Bay. This is truly profound. Truly profound. I thank y'all for sharing this moment because it's food to nurture on.
Praise Allah.
Truly. But I leave that on you, Brother Wasires. Before I ask, I want to meditate on that.
Yeah. In terms of the meeting place being in the heart, right? When as you analyze, you study yourself again, and this form that we are at once battling to make sure we are in the driver's seat instead of it. When you study it, it's weird. The body is a powerful, fascinating thing. The physical body, we're inside. I believe there's like this, there's a spiritual parts of it. Like when you study the chakras, right? You study the chakras, which are connected to the universe. You're connected to the universe. I read once a long time ago that man is the microcosm of the universe. Meaning that we're many universes, and I confirmed that over the years. Like first it blew my mind, like could that possibly be true? And then you study every aspect, including all of the elements of there, and we got stars. We have all different elements in the body. Our chakras that we were talking about a text. There's a text that Brother Anil Bay put together. I think it's through Ali's Men Publishing. Get this, Moors, if you get a chance to, or seek it from Brother S.N.I.L. Bay, the Grand Sheikah Branch Temple number 11 in Syracuse, a pamphlet about chakras. And in this pamphlet, we discovered in a question our assistant chairman, Sister C. Salesville, asked Sister Harris Adams Bay, in Sunday school. She said, "What are the five? What is it? What are these? The seven eyes of Allah?" We went down a deep rabbit hole trying to figure it out. It brought us to the chakras and the planets, and we were trying to put the pieces together. Well, Brother Anil Bey already snapped those pieces together really nicely in that text, and it explains how the chakras are connected to the planets. Sister Adams Bey, I know, and Brother Adams Bey is probably both fans of astrology. It's all in there. But my point being, the heart, when you look at the seven chakras, the heart is the middle chakra. Your lower chakras, including the root, I forget the stomach chakra. The root is red, the stomach is orange, and it's sacral chakra, and then your solar plexus chakra, which is yellow. They're all the lower portion, and they're like lower things you have to conquer. The heart is right in the middle. Everything above the heart are higher chakras, and the heart is the middle one. I think I'm pretty sure at this point the heart is the core of the self. And it would make sense that the meeting place for the great God Allah is in the heart, without going into what is the purity of, what does it mean to be pure of heart and all the other aspects. I would say that the heart is very important. That's, because it's your core, your center, the center of your mind. All of the things that you want and desire are in your heart. And it should just be the great God Allah. If you are doing your work, when you get done with your work, it should just be the great God Allah in there. So yeah, the heart is critical. I'm gonna stop right there and save the second half of that question, Brother Florence Hill.
So we're gonna question why do you think that man meeting place with Allah is in the heart, or we on how does one actually go to meet Allah within the heart?
I think that's the one we're on. Yes.
Islam. I could comment if you need a moment.
Yes, go ahead, sister. Praise Allah.
All right, praise Allah. I started thinking about so many things when Brother Cyrus was talking, and I'm like, is this on the thought I had? I'm like, is this on topic? I don't know. However, I have two things I would like to share. One of them is a thought that I had when Brother Cyrus was speaking in reference to the heart. I thought about where the prophet says, instructs us to keep our hearts and minds pure with love and our bodies clean with water, specifically our hearts and minds pure with love. And maybe
thank you.
Someone might be able to help me out, or it'll come up, I'll see it. But because there's a specific term for it, a scientific term for it, and I am failing to recall at the moment. But it speaks about when you're trying to function optimally on the plane of things made manifest. It was something that was speaking about the connection between your heart and your mind, and how that connection is very, very important when you're trying to pretty much function on the plane of things made manifest. Some people would say manifest, whatever type of terminology you would like to use. That heart and mind connection is very, very important. And the fact that there's a scientific term for it was very fascinating to me, because the prophet made it so plain the fool can't error. And sometimes when I look at the Holy Quran and everything that the prophet brought, it makes me think of like our Holy Quran is like a concentrated form of like just everything, for our higher good. Like Brother Cyrus used the word cryptic earlier. And it's a good description, because you can just keep uncovering more and more and more about a divine instruction. There could be so many different viewpoints that make sense,
I'm Googling this. I'm trying to remember the name of this. Oh, it's Rewired, actually. There's a Joe Dispenza documentary series called Rewired, and he talks about that connection that you made me think of, Sister Adams Bey, between the heart and the brain. Going for those, I think you've seen it. For those that may not have seen it, go check that out. It's very interesting. It shows this a lot of different aspects of man being of the microcosm of the universe and the relationship between the heart and the brain. Apparently, the endocrine system, which is the root, is the physical component to these the 7 chakras, right? Are all like little brains, but the most powerful one is the heart. And so I think, yeah, there's a lot. I'm going to try. I want to pick and choose from the many things that you can speak about in the heart. And I'm going to start with the Holy Quran, where it says things like one of the big keys you'll find in the Quran is chapter 3, instruction 2 or 3. I think it's 3, where it says the pure in heart, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will give love and not demand love in return. And the profoundness of that statement is a key, because in order to change the world, you got to be able to do that. That connects to the verse in the chapter that we're on, chapter 8, where it says, in order to serve Allah, serve your near kin, those that are no kin, the stranger at your gate, the foe that seeks to do you harm, right? Which are different levels of being able to give love and not demand love in return. There's another verse in chapter 9 has something else about the pure in heart. It says, the pure in heart do not accuse. It says, the vile in heart who wish to cover up their sin with, I think, holy smoke of piety, or ever loathing sinners in something in courtesans. The pure in heart don't do that. And so I'm gonna pause, because like I said, there's a lot. Adam in the science of Kabbalah, esoteric science of Kabbalah, they have a concept about Adam, the father of one of our great fathers, the father, all of our great forefathers, who they say that Adam's soul shattered into, I think, 9,000 pieces, in his heart shattered into like 600. And man's goal, and the soul shattered into 9,000 pieces, it went from being one soul to being all of these people on the planet that we think that we're not connected to, and we're connected by cords to all these individuals, somehow, all of humanity. But his heart shattered. And the goal of the mastermind in chapter 11 is to restore the heritage which he lost, is to repair that heart and bring it back to one. When you look into your heart, which I believe the cares of the world on the cover of our questionnaire demonstrates very well, why do we care about all of this stuff? Why are we doing all these different things when the one thing that we should be doing is continuing to focus on the great God? And when we do that, everything else falls into place. But we don't know how to do that, because we care about, we got, everything from money to fame to this, to that person and this show and, this accomplishment and, having these different things. And so we have to work to rectify the heart. And that's part of the process. I'll mention that amongst many things that are very important. The heart is the strongest. It gives off the strongest electromagnetic pulse in the body. And those pulses, which are vibrations, go the furthest. You change the universe around you by the vibration that you give off through your heart. And your heart is based on your mood that you're in, and the spirit is you in your high, you in your low. If you're in your low, you changing everything around you to the low. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop.
Islam, praise God. Sister D. Evans Bay, were you completed? Because I know you were saying something before Grand Sheik came in.
Oh, it was just in reference to how do we
He's already finished.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, go ahead.
How do you go about meeting Allah in the heart? And I can only speak on what I know and what I've done, because from there, just know he must be what he knows. And for me, one of the best ways for me is through meditation. Those are the moments where I've actually heard the still small voice, hear it in my mind. Because in my day to day, you have that inner knowing or intuition. But in moments where I've literally heard the still small voice has been through my meditations. So that's all I was gonna say.
Praise Allah. Islam. Prophet pretty much summarized it all, and it was everything that we're sharing is pretty much in the chapter that we opened up with. We stopped from 1 to 7. You read, and then if we go down further, it goes in to say, it says, and Jesus said, and this is going back to the concept of the question. It says, how does one actually go to meet Allah within the heart? So we know if we go from the top first one was saying, why must man be still in order to hear Allah speaks to him? So again, I know Brother Wise Cyrus was just talking about getting caught up in energy, like somebody's coming to cause some type of confusion or strife and to do you harm, and then you get caught up in that energy and you probably respond in that magnitude. But in this chapter it says, and Jesus said, instruction 9 of chapter 8, it says, and Jesus said, the holy breath cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the spirit of the Holy One. But in their image, man was made, and he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. And when man honors man, he honors Allah. And what man does for man, he does for Allah. And you must bear in mind that when man harms in thought or word or deed another man, he does it wrong to Allah. If you would serve Allah who speaks within the heart, just serve your near kin and those who are no kin, the stranger at your gate, the foe who seeks to do you harm. Assist the poor and help the weak. Do harm to none and cover not what is not yours. Then with your tongue the Holy One will speak, and he will smile behind your tears, will lighten your countenance with joy, and fill your hearts with peace. You hear that? And fill your hearts with peace. So now, how does one act? That's right there. Just gave you the instruction on how you can meet Allah, or he can, we go to Allah to meet Allah. It says, how does one actually go to meet Allah within the heart? By serving your near kin, the foe at each gate. It's a preparation, a process that you go through in order to meet with Allah. So again, you can't go around here causing a whole bunch of havoc and things, because now you caught up in the habit. You caught up in what it is that you perpetuate. But when you serve, you looking at, that's inspiring not only to them but also to yourself, because you doing for your brother, man. You're not only doing for your brother, you're doing for Allah. You're doing for Allah, the image that speaks within. And as we was talking about and I think that was the question that you was about to pose, man. How do one oppose or speak to Allah? Or how keep Allah? Pardon me. How do one keep Allah on his mind all the time? As looking at your brothers and your sisters, looking at the image of Allah, seeing the image of Allah in everyone that you look at or speak to, and that to continuously meet with Allah and still because you, like I said, this brother can come with a whole bunch, but you focused on Allah, and if you focus on you looking at the Allah in him and knowing that
already, you can't lose.
Allah, you know what I'm saying? Because you're doing harm to yourself. You're gonna bring harm to yourself. You can take it high, or you can take it low. It's on you. So that's the thought that I bring at this present time. But thank you, Sister D. Adams Bay, for lining me up for that and allowing myself to be still to reflect on truly what Allah has given to all of us. He has given us divine instructions through our prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I'm truly grateful for these instructions. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. And I wanted to share. I would desire to share something as well. What I thought what Brother Wadasir Azil was talking about, it being like the core. And when you think about the thought being the cause of it all, and the heart, as you think about the heart, it's a distributor of information to the whole body.
Praise Allah.
So, of course, to me, that's why I would deem it fit that the meeting place for Allah would be in the heart, because you're going to the source for the information to be distributed from the thought through the whole body. You know what I'm saying? And so I just thought about that. So praise Allah. Peace.
Praise Allah. Thank you.
That's absolutely true. I think we were looking at a book. There's a book by an author, Cindy Dale, called The Subtle Body. Again, Sister Adams Bay is probably familiar because we've been looking at that book for years. It's an encyclopedia of the makeup of the body. It goes into you got to learn about the auras. There's multiple layers of aura, vibrational auras, like an egg that is outside of us. Some people call it, in China, they call it chi energy, and that energy is the origin of the makeup of the body. That energy flows into the body through streams called meridians. And the meridians sit inside of the body in a similar way that the veins do. And this is where acupuncture points tap into these meridians, and you know, and then you know, so it's all about vibration, and the heart plays a very, very powerful role. We were looking, I mean, this, I don't want to go too much into a bunch of technical about the assemblage point or these vortexes that the body gives off, but this all I guess what I'm saying is it all deals in vibration, and it's very important that we keep our vibration high. And I wanted to go into this part about, as we're talking about the heart and trying to, it's like the money grab, the cash machine. You try to, you know, touch on so many different, as many things as we can with a little bit of limited time, but the heart deals with a lot. Chapter 7, instruction number 13, I believe, where Barada Rabo asks about man. I think it's about it's and it says, let me actually read it. When it talks about conditions changing and how the ethers change when conditions change. Let me see. Instruction number, man is the breath made flesh. So this is on page 12, chapter 7.
Praise the Lord.
This is another really critical key. This opens up anything that you can learn about in metaphysics, quantum physics. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali placed it for us plain in this section that deals with a higher level of understanding of what truth is. The mundane is in a chapter on the insufficiency of knowledge, but instruction 13 says, man is the breath made flesh. So truth and falsehood are conjoined in him. And then they strive, and naught goes down, and man as truth abides. That's actually not the verse that I was looking for. I was looking for 9. The things we see are but reflexes just appearing, while the ethers vibrate so and so. And when conditions change, they disappear.
Praise.
That is, I mean, that actually encapsulates what you can learn in studying quantum science. And essentially, so the conditions, what are the conditions? I said this before, the conditions, I would say the conditions of your mind. If you got a mind that's still, Brother Hopkins Bey talks about this concept that comes out of Islam and the Holy Quran of Mecca, the monkey mind. The monkey mind. The mind that can't be controlled. It's not settled. And the person, when you got a monkey mind, it's like an octopus on your head. Any little thought that comes, it drags you off to that thought and this thought, and you can't center. You couldn't meditate if you try. You haven't meditated, so you don't know how to center yourself. The monkey mind has us in a certain condition, but when we get to another level where we're actually able to center ourselves, raise your thought as long as you can on the great God Allah, and watch how the ethers change around you. Everything settles down. And that is it's a very powerful thing. I would end this last random comment about the heart by saying that as we go into meditation, how do you meet Allah? It's through meditation, prayer and meditation. When you meditate, one of the first things I believe in good practice is worked well for me that you have to do is analyze your heart. So if you start off by you sit down somewhere, you make yourself comfortable, and then you put a little bit of attention on your chakras. There's this thing that you can do an exercise. You go around your chakras and just concentrate on them. Do a quick check on your chakras. Stop on your heart for a minute before you go deeper into your subconscious, right? Thinking about the waves of the mind. You go from alpha to that theta mind state. Stop on your heart for a minute. Make sure you're okay. Do a real quick check on your heart. If you check on your heart and you're like, man, I am in a bad mood and I can't shake it. I'm agitated, or I'm scared, or I'm something. I would be wary of going to the next level in that meditation, because you really still haven't stilled yourself properly. You're in a bad state. This is how important the heart is. You need to make sure before you go. And there's exercises that you can do. There's sounds and stuff, sound exercises you can do to make sure you cheer yourself up a little bit before you go into that deep meditation, rather than just rushing in. I want to meditate, and you meditating, and then those thoughts start bubbling up. You wonder why some crazy thoughts start coming out, because you're not in the right state in your heart. The reflection is the business of man. The state of, his present state is his first business. Sorry for chopping that verse. Peace.
Praise Allah, Islam. And as we see it, we're coming up on time.
Oh, wow.
As we typically do on Universal Love, I mean, they just showed it was
Wow.
beautiful discussion taking place.
Praise the Lord.
But praise the Lord. And we're coming up on the closing. So if you have any business venture, anything you deem fit to share, please do it in your closing remarks. And may Allah be pleased.
Praise the
Peace.
Lord, brothers and sisters. I thank y'all for this moment. I truly do. Where would I be without the prophet and my brothers and my sisters? I'm truly grateful for each and every one that is supporting and working with this endeavor. As I'm looking, oh, I get to share with the Moles out there. But again, this is for me as well, Moses. This is inspiring, and I'm truly grateful for this moment. I truly am grateful for this moment. I've learned a lot on this platform, Universal Love, and that's where I'm at. I'm working on myself as far as learning to love instead of hate. So I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful for this moment. And also, I would like to also extend honors to the Rebels Bay family. Truly, that was my intention. I thank you, Brother White Cyrus, for extending those honors. So again, the thought is one. So we know and understand the thought is there. So thank you. Sister P. Rebels Bay was truly a jewel, and I've learned a great deal from her steadfast, very few with words, but she demonstrated, Mo, you know what I mean, her acting. And as Jesus said, my words and my deeds shall be the proof of my messiahship. She's worthy, Mo, and I know she's selling on smoother seas, Mo, so it's truly an honor. And I give honors once again to my elders and my ancestors, not excluding no one, because I know that they have tracked in history so that we would have this moment in history to be together and share these beautiful jewels. So again, I'm forever grateful to my mother and my father. The reason I say that because you know what I mean, a lot of people get caught up on the fact that our parents, they make their transition, they're gone, but they're still here with us. They have put us in the cares, in the true cares, and where we need to be at. So I'm grateful for being here with the Moorish Americans. It truly saved me, Mo. I mean, it truly has saved me from the cares of the world, from all these things that be on our mind. But at this present time, I'm grateful, and I thank each and every one that's within the Moorish Science Temple of America, and those that are not in the Moorish Science, giving honors to them as well, because they have assisted me as well, let me know what I need to do to be a better brother in humanity. Thank you. Peace, Mos.
Islam Grand Sheikh, would you like to put your temple address for those who in the Trenton, New Jersey area?
I'm a member of Temple 48, Grand Sheikah Temple number 48, Trenton, New Jersey, 671 Pennington Avenue. That's 671 Pennington Avenue, Trenton, New Jersey, 08618. Thank you. Praise Allah for the TI.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. I spoke actually a lot. I lost track of time, so I'm going to be really brief. I'm going to give thanks to the sheiks for having us on the platform. Honors to Brother Adams Bay, Sister Adams Bay, Brother Florence Hill. I wanted to, thinking about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali who transitioned on our Authority Day, July 20th. I want to give honors to my big brother, Brother Rahman Bey, who's traveled with the spirits a long time ago, the former Grand Sheikah Temple 48. I give honors to Sister P. Rebels Bay, and then also to Sister Walker Ill, who's on the media team. Sister K. Walker Ill said her mother transitioned a few days ago. I want to give honors simply give honors to Sister Walker Ill and her family as I extend encouragement and say peace.
Peace.
Islam, praise Allah, and honors to our Prophet again. And I extend honors to you all again, with the Y. Cyrus Seal, with the J. Florence Seal, for joining us on Universal Love. And I would like to extend the honor to Sister P. Rebels Bay as well. Not to keep going on because we're past time, but for those that knew her, she was a very, very kind-hearted person, and she could cook very well, and lemonade very delicious. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
And yes, so praise Allah. Please be sure to tune in next week for Sakara Sacred Healing on Wednesday at 7 p.m. and that following Monday, Girl Talk, Morris Talk at 7 p.m. And then you have Universal Love again. And as always, we have our Friday Holy Day meetings streamed live at 7:30. p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sunday school is streamed every Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So praise the Lord, and I'll hand it over to Brother Adams Bay. Peace.
Islam. Once again, I rise in thought, giving praise to Allah, honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to my beautiful wife, our 3 beautiful daughters, Sister C, U, and S. Adams Bay. I give honors to our 2 beautiful brothers here on Universal Love, Brother J. Florence Hill, Brother Y. Cyrus Hill, and to their families as well. I give honors to all our viewers, listeners, and everyone who tuned into Universal Love. And I give honors to our Grand Governor of the State of Virginia, Brother R. Smith Bay, and our Grand Sheik of Moorish National Home Number 1, Brother K. Simmons Hill, and to the Grand Sheik and moderator of the Moorish Science Temple of America, who gave us the opportunity to have this platform to be able to share the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I give honors to everything that honors is due, and it's been truly a blessing and receiving the nourishment through these lessons from my brothers and sisters. And may Allah be pleased with whatever's been said. And as we typically do here on Universal Love, what's in you is in me, and what's in me is in you. And if we can focus on Allah each other, we can accomplish some mighty things. Peace, Moors.
Peace.
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 Praise the Lord.
Praise Allah.